Hey, good evening, everybody. Boy, dinner time crisis averted. Whew. Got notification that our big subdivision party, 4th of July party, the water slide inflatable that was supposed to be there, evidently had a hole in it or something, and they had to cancel last minute. So we did locate one. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll see. But again, I've noticed that I didn't realize there were so many inflatable companies out there. There must have been probably 50 that I saw in the post, so that's pretty wild. But appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. The crash is by your house. I noticed a comment here. Yeah, we've got some breaking news going on. What is it, AJ? A truck into a house up in Fayetteville? Yep. So we're going to have more on that coming up tonight at 10. But appreciate you all tuning in. I know it's hard to tune in. Holidays, everybody's mind's elsewhere. So we're going to kind of get into this and talk about the forecast. And the other thing is there's really not a whole lot of weather. To be honest, there's not a whole lot of weather to talk about. So Decatur looking good. I did see the fireworks display. I think it was probably from Toyota Field tonight. It was a pretty good display. They'll probably have another really good display coming up there tomorrow for the Trash Pandas. We'll find out if they won or not. Maybe this is a 2-game winning streak. We'll see. I don't know. I've been, again, trying to get that water slide for the subdivision. But again, we located one. Here's that weekend forecast. Just beautiful. It's hot, though. It's supposed to be hot. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there and really push the water. I know a lot of different beverages will be consumed, but at least make sure you're consuming some water with all your choices out there. 95 tomorrow, 95 Saturday. The humidity really starts coming back late Saturday into Sunday, and that's when it's going to start feeling more like 100 degrees. Yep, my puppy's already barking. Yeah, you know, I've only had one dog that gets excited about fireworks. It was an English bulldog, and it was the same thing with lightning and thunder. Whenever it started thundering, Sammy was her name. She would want to run outside and bark at the lightning and thunder. She knew thunder was coming when she saw the lightning strike. And then I'll never forget the 4th of July down at Table Rock Lake in Missouri when we had this string of black cats out. And all of a sudden, we light the fuse, and there it goes. You know how a brick of black cats goes. She grabs the end of the black cat and starts running off with it, and then, so everyone's freaking out. So we got it out of her mouth. But again, that was Sammy. All the other dogs I've had, they've all been chill. My son's dogs, Ross's dog Gunner has been staying with us. He's a rescue, kind of a lab mix, not exactly sure, kind of a blue heeler lab mix. But he only gets nervous when he's inside. When he's outside and the fireworks are going off, he doesn't care. And then Hershey, late Hershey, she could care less. And Shelby's the same way. She's just what fireworks. So again, it's different. It's different for dogs. I think one thing we've seen, I see a lot of people complaining about fireworks, and there's a lot that goes into it. But I think one thing that has changed over the years is the number of days we hear fireworks. Last weekend, I was like, okay, are people celebrating the 4th of July this weekend? I was really confused because there were a lot of fireworks last weekend. And I was like, okay, it's on a Friday. Okay, I think you choose the closest weekend. So again, we summarize that. Let's go hour by hour, talk about the entire Southeast. One thing we're going to watch is an area of low pressure that's probably going to be developing off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. And we're going to get into that in a second. But 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, if you're getting up early, you're going to be traveling, maybe this is your forecast, and you're just going to fall asleep before the 10 o'clock news, that's fine. You do your thing. You do you. As far as the hour by hour goes, we've been watching this boundary, this kind of eastward boundary that's going to move, easterly wave we call it. It actually moves from west to east to west, that is. And it may set up near Talladega, Birmingham, on down towards Montgomery, even Dothan. My buddy David Paul down there, he may see a few isolated storms, but again, down there in Dothan as we go through tomorrow afternoon. And I said Chris Paul too, wasn't it? He's the basketball player. David Paul is the meteorologist down there in Dothan. Chris Paul is a basketball player. I do know that. 91 down there in Panama City. And overall, just typical tropical weather down there along the Gulf Coast. And as we continue on, by about the time the fireworks go off tomorrow evening, I think most areas are going to be fine. as far as the sky condition goes, mostly clear. So good viewing out there, good photography out there for the fireworks. Saturday morning, maybe you're traveling back, or maybe you're down along the beach watching us with our 48 First Alert Weather Extra. Looks like it's nice. I think they've got a north wind for maybe one more day. The rip current risk is not all that great. And this tropical low, you kind of see it spinning there backwards at noon as we get into Saturday afternoon. What happens here is the stronger these tropical areas get, on the outer edge, there's this subsidence, we call it. There's this sinking air, and that compresses the air many times, and that means it brings in drier air from the upper levels, and it also heats up the air. So it's going to be hot regardless. So 95 there in Birmingham, close to 95 in North Alabama around 4 o'clock Saturday. Notice along the Gulf Coast, not much going on. All that activity is near Charleston. So Charleston's going to see quite a bit of rain from that tropical system tonight. Satellite pretty quiet as we look down to the south. Panama City faring pretty well tonight. Gulf Shores, Orange Beach look good too. And here's your 3-day forecast, 95 degrees tomorrow. So again, a hot one. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Push the fluids. Again, lots of beverages being consumed. Just make sure at least once an hour you're having a water. That's the best advice I can give you. 95 Saturday, 94 Sunday. Coming up after the break, we'll talk about your 10-day forecast. Your Monday, is it going to be rainy on your way back to work? Find out. If you want to mow the yard the next few days, hey, we've got good weather for that. Not really seeing anything significant. The fact is you're probably going to want to mow about every 3 or 4 days just to the amount of rain we've had and the heat and humidity coming back. Here's the rain chances. It's less than 10% Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I cannot rule out like a really small rogue shower, we call it, about 5-10 miles in diameter that may pop up. But our rain chances will improve, and to be honest, we do need rain this time of year, at least every 4 days to be consistent. And here's your 10-day forecast. We really don't see any really decent chances for rain until probably the middle of next week. That coincides with temperatures going back into the upper 80s, highs near 90. Overall, really hot this weekend. Enjoy. A lot of boating going on this weekend. If it's the first time out on the lake with your boat, make sure you've got your life preservers, your life jackets. Make sure you've got all that checklist taken care of. It seems like every year we have an accident on one of our lakes, whether it's Chelmsford Lake, Lake Gunnersville, Smith Lake, Wheeler Lake, Wilson Lake. And again, we hope we have a safe holiday this weekend. But again, be very careful out there, especially if you're going to boat at night. That's probably the most dangerous time to be out boating. There are more barges out on the Tennessee River because the locks are now completely open. The main lock there at Wilson is open. We've been talking about that. So again, there may be a little bit more barge traffic out there too. But you guys have a great weekend. We will not have a 48 weather extra coming up tomorrow evening. We're going to give AJ the night off too. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next 48 weather extra Monday at 9:30.